at a Comic-Con once. Pretty badass. I've never seen this set.
Have you been to a Comic-Con?
Yeah, sure. I went to a Comic-Con Philadelphia twice.
Oh, I see.
I'm not that big into comics, though, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, you just went for fun?
Yeah, I felt pretty out of place. I
went to some anime one with Lumi and stuff. Like, that shit's so... I don't even know why I went. Like, I have almost no interest in anime and things like that. But it was pretty interesting. Like, get to see people dressed up and things like that. And you can't really tell if it's a guy or a girl under, like, any costume at all.
Yeah.
I've had that sexually confusing.
I've had that similar experience where I've gone to anime conventions and realized, wait a second, I don't really like any anime. Why am I here? What am I doing? It's okay though. I felt out of place. Like, I just don't get it. There's so much going on in the anime world, and I'm not privy to it, man.
Yep. You can like some, but you can't like others, and all right. But anyways, onto the actual game. I think Storm actually kind of gets crushed against the Brewmaster, just because the Drunken Brawler makes it impossible to trade. And oh, they're gonna find Solo.
Yeah, he'll get telekinesis back, and Shilling Touch will make this an easy first blood. Open wounds come out, and he might not have even needed to really skill that to secure that kill, but good luck, have fun, says Virtus.PRO. Thanks for the gold. And that'll be the start that they were looking for sure. Remember, Empire needs this win for a chance to make it to the top 4. So this is do or die for Empire, and Virtus.PRO one step closer.
Yeah, that was just a good attempt by them. I guess Solo thought he was safe, right? Because he was in the open field, but the Rubik has boots, and he was able to close the distance really quickly. But I still don't know if he either had to be faster about warding and moving, or he had to just not be there at all. Just because their level 1 potential isn't strong at all. So VP knows that. They're going to smoke up, because Empire can't contest that level 1. Like, they'll get absolutely crushed.
Doom grabs the bounty rune here. Jotun will pick up the illusion rune at the top position as some little pumpkin treants here scurry their way towards the top lane. To introduce some rosters on the Radiant side, we do have Team Empire headed to the top lane. It will be Mag, offlane Nature's Prophet, still a member of Team Empire. I saw that post the other day, apparently some sort of a miscommunication. Still a proud member of Empire. Resolution will be mid here on the Brewmaster, and that gives them a safe lane try. They're standing. Saniko going to be on the Bane Elemental. Silent will be on the position 1, farming Spectre. And that puts Solo here on the Vengeful Spirit, as we already saw, the unfortunate victim of the early First Blood.
Yeah, this is an offlane Rubik, which is kind of weird, but I guess you want to prioritize his levels. And I guess that's the smart thing to do here. The Ancient Apparition really needs to hit level 6 quickly, and against a Nature's Prophet it's going to be almost impossible to stack and pull, and so I think he has to just sit here and soak levels. So I think this is the correct choice by VP in terms of laning.
Yeah, G is well, doing okay in these initial waves. He's 3-2 against the 3-1 Brewmaster. Yeah, they'll just jungle the Doom right out of the gate. He's sitting on brown boots with some consumables. He did find a tornado early on, so we'll actually have that luxury of being able to sit in the jungle, and if you get some stacks going, just find those easy tornado kills. And BZZ having a great time in the safe lane. Jotun helping to zone out Mag pretty effectively and keeping the lifestealer safe. So I think this is good as long as Yol positions himself appropriately and doesn't get picked off. Even with boots first, this is not the easiest lane for Rubik if they get a good initiation on him. They've got, between Magic Missile and the Spectral Dagger, they've got plenty of damage they could put his way. Well, what's that smiley face about, Resolution?
I'm not entirely sure, but he should be okay actually. If you check the Venge and the Bane's inventory, he'll see neither of them have boots, and neither of them also have smokes, and so it's impossible for him to get wrapped around the tower as long as he's paying attention, especially since he has the board. So he might actually be really safe here, as confusing as that is. But mid, G.
Yeah, this is a different situation. Double damage on Solo, but no boots, and the Storm Spirit will just be able to position himself to the north side of the lane, uses his salve, and that'll be an unsuccessful rotation and essentially a wasted double damage rune.
Yeah, and that's only a level 2 Venge. He doesn't really have boots yet. He's not going to pressure the lane too much. Surprisingly, though, he does have more levels than the Ancient Apparition, but I think it's because he's trying to give the Life Stealer some solo experience.
Yeah. Now they'll go back down. Rubik's almost found his level 3, so leeching a good bit of experience. Mag is halfway through 3, so having a slightly better time, but I think that's pretty expected. There's a Fade Bolt out on the Spectre. I guess that's another aspect of Rubik that makes this slightly easier for him, is Fade Bolt. If they jump on him, their damage output significantly lowered. But Sadoy will come back down to the bottom lane. Telekinesis onto Silent. They put him into the tower. He's taking a lot of tower shots here. Can Sadoy find the kill? The Nightmare comes out, but it's not enough, and Yol will get credit. as they were just not ready for that Doom to rotate back into the lane with Tranks.
That was weird because they saw him, right? Like, it's not like the Spectre was surprised by his presence. That was just a good play by VP and a little bit of a mismaneuver by Silent dying there. And this is going absolutely miserably for them because he's only got boots and a quelling blade right now, and especially with that death, it sets him quite far behind. And with the Spectre, you need your lanes to go relatively well for him to be able to do anything, because you don't really get online until you have the Radiance, unless you decide to go for the drums build. But if you do that, you're not going to be able to keep up with a Storm, a Doom, and a Lifestealer, I feel.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Virtus.PRO have a fair bit of late game themselves, as long as they don't get totally wrecked here, as Sadoy gets a little bit aggressive. Bane just going blow for blow with him. They will protect the rune. It's an invisibility picked up by Yol. Brewmaster will be the one to grab the bounty. So Nico actually puts down a sentry for this, puts Yol into the Nightmare. Solo comes over, and now the Nature's Prophet will TP in. That's that global power you talked about, and they'll find a kill on the Rubik for their first kill of the game up on the board. Sadoy stuck inside of the Sprout. G will walk his way over. No level 6 yet, and just his rotation will force them back, and that'll be the end of it.
Yeah, that was a pretty good maneuver. I think if you're going to draft, like in the China land that we've been casting so far, almost everybody does dual lanes nowadays because you want to try to give at least one support some farm and levels. And it's a little bit more unsafe, obviously, if you're in the long lane as a support. But the way it is right now, it's okay. And if you're going to draft like 2 standard traditional supports like this, you have to get active on the map. It's the only way you're going to get levels if you can't stack and pull effectively.
Yeah, Ancient Apparition will be able to commence the stacking and the pulling now. Found his level 3 and finding a lot more experience at that. Doom sitting 4 and just goes right back into the jungle, picks himself up a hoof stomp as he just continues to utilize the Devour. And I like this general idea here. Put Yol in the offlane by himself, and then when Doom doesn't have easy creeps to find or they're pushed into the tower, he'll just walk his way down. And that last kill probably shouldn't have happened, but still the general rotation plan seems to be pretty effective. As now once more, creeps will move into the tower. And beautiful positioning from Yol. He seems to be a pretty practiced hand at this general strategy here.
Yeah, and they have no way of punishing him is like the weird thing. Because what is a Spectre going to do? You're going to dagger him and then he's going to lift you into his tower again? And you don't want to dive in case the Doom's down there, just kind of waiting for it. And a Bane by himself isn't really going to right-click trade very well. And the Venge still doesn't have a smoke, so she can't really pressure.
Yeah, just going for boots and lots of branches here as Vengeful Spirit will head towards the top lane, finds that level 3 with a second point in Missile, and will just, they'll try and give VP a taste of their own medicine. Put one of the supports in the off lane as Mag moves into the jungle, thinking about teleporting up top for that bounty rune, but we'll just stay true to the course, taking out this Centaur camp.
I'm
so
pretty
Solo's
sure...
level 3 with boots. I guess this will work out okay.
I think they can kill him though if he's not careful. There's level 2 open wounds. And so the range isn't huge, but he does have phase boots, and they have cold feet, so it's not like he can teleport out. Like, they're going on him right now, but I don't know if they can close the distance that quickly. But he's going to have a much worse time of it than Yol is, because he has a lot less ways to farm the wave out. Like, he doesn't have the long-range nuke that Rubik does. And, like, yeah, he just has to move immediately. Like, there's almost no point in him going up there.
Yeah, right away just TPs down to the bottom lane and commences the tri-lane. They will try to commit onto Sadoy, it looks like. Solo does have the mana for a magic missile. Now Mag will TP in. Sadoy does get put inside of the Nightmare. There's your missile, and this will probably be a kill. The War Stomp comes out. He'll try to TP home, and well, that certainly won't happen.
If he had ate the tree, like in the front, he would have been fine, but he accidentally ate the one down, so he had to walk around them, and then he tried TPing, but he was TPing to his tier 2 at bottom, so there's nothing about that went right for him.
Yeah, rather unfortunate indeed. So that'll tie it up 2-2 and help level things out a little bit. Empire finding some recovery. Spectre still getting a lot of good farm despite that unfortunate death earlier. Finds an assist now and only 2 CS behind that of the Lifestealer. Mid lane going pretty well for the Storm Spirit. You were mentioning that this is usually a kind of a rough lane for the Storm, but he's had no supports rotate over to help him out, and he's actually out CSing the Brewmaster by a small margin.
Yeah, it's normally really easy for a support to come in mid and kill because the clap just does so much, and Storm's range isn't the best thing ever. But G's played pretty safe so far, and now that he's level 6, like I said, you can dodge the Venge stun so easily with Storm's roll, and Bane doesn't really offer a whole lot on top of that because you can just spam your roll as soon as he sleeps you. So as soon as it's done, like there's going to be no follow-up ever.
Yeah, and Explosion Rune will get picked up by Bane, and Brewmaster goes down bottom to get the Bounty Rune to fill up his bottle. He has found level 7, so of course Split is online, 1800 gold. He'll have a very well-timed Blink Dagger here. And G, what's he working on? He's just sitting on Power Treads and a Null Tally right now. Is this an Orchid first kind of game for the Storm Spirit, you think?
Yeah, 100%. Especially against a Spectre. You can't really go for a Bloodstone or a BKB here. It's too defensive. You need to be able to pressure him out. And against a Panda, like, as soon as you see a Panda in the game, you pretty much have to go Orchid first. Because if he can stop his initiation, the game's, like, won for you already. Like, the Spectre's not going to do anything for at least 20 minutes. And, like, almost everything that Empire has right now is on Resolution doing well, getting a quick Blink Dagger, and just becoming a terror on the map. And if he's unable to do that, and G's actually able to pick up his Orchid at a reasonable time, like in the next, I'd say, like, 4 or 5 minutes, then it's going to go really well for them.
Yeah, we'll see Storm go blow for blow with Resolution, and actually getting him reasonably low, thinking about committing to this, but he'll eat his stick charges. That'll top him off, and we'll Wrath of Nature chipping down the Storm, and he'll just TP back to the base, fill up the bottle, and then head back to lane. Lifestealer's starting to look pretty strong, though, going for a very early aggressive build. Phase boots into drums with an Orb of Venom, and they've already started chipping away at this tower. The two supports rotate up to try and make a defense, but even this Ancient Apparition has found some pretty solid recovery. Jottam had a very slow experience start, but has been able to take some out of the lane and work the jungle, and now he's just a couple creep kills away from his level 6, which is, of course, always a big benchmark on the Ancient Apparition.
Yeah, him plus the Storm is pretty much going to be able to kill anybody if they line that up rightly, and at bottom, they're going to go for the combo, and they definitely want to kill the Spectre. Like, getting a support, if you're going to rotate 4 heroes down here, with the Infest being used, you don't want to just pick off a Bane or something here. And I think they're going to actually be able to find Silent as soon as the smoke breaks on Sidoi.
Yep, they'll wrap around the other side. G catches vision to zip forward, and there's your Infest Bomb, and the Electric Vortex to follow up. An easy kill on the Spectre, nowhere for him to go. If he could have haunted there, he could have gone up top on the Ancient Apparition to make a defense, so well done, and they'll bring him down. Ice Blast flies through, will connect onto Solo. Now the rest of this fight will break out as they find Resolution inside the Sprout. Pardon me, they find Sidoi, Resolution there trapped next to him, but he'll TP home. No, Bane will have the brain sap to bring him down. A close call, but the Doom will fall in the end, and they do trade 1 for 1.
Oh god, that scared me so much. Like, I thought he was going to get out. I was like, Bane, just sleep. Be safe. But they're able to pick up the kill, but I still don't know if that's worth it. They rotated their entire team down. I guess they didn't have to use the Brewmaster ultimate, so it's okay. But you traded a Doom that somehow has like the least amount of farm I've ever seen a Doom have for a Spectre who has like a certain timing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I think Silent spent all his gold though, and he decided to go Vanguard, so he's a bit more tanky, but it's not going to help him too much, especially once the Storm gets Orchid. Just like the Infest Bombs alone will kill him pretty quickly.
Yeah. We'll see the supports on Empire look a little aggressive here, scouting it out with a Wave of Terror, but will choose to back off as Doom very close to his level 6. He wants to spend some time in the jungle here, and it looks like he'll be moving into the mech. He's got the headdress to go with his Tranquil Boots, so a nice bit of regeneration as Storm clears out this nice big stack here, and G will get a good bit of farm under his belt. So stuff going pretty well for Virtus.PRO, holding on to a small gold lead, but still pretty even across the board. And one of the issues with the Vanguard first on Spectre is I feel like this puts some pressure on you to fight, because if you get the Vanguard and then you have all this time to farm up your Radiance next, it's this item that doesn't really provide a whole lot. And if you're not skirmishing, then it ends up being sort of a wasted slot, and I think he kind of felt forced into it. And Virtus.PRO may take that as a sign of, all right, now we can back up, be a little more passive, get our core items up before we really look to commence the team fights.
Yeah, I guess the Vanguard was in response to the fact that if he didn't get it, the Storm alone would be able to kill him. But now he needs to rotate one more hero to kill him. So that's marginally more annoying. And I mean, it's a pretty good item because Spectre needs some sort of defensive capability. Like, Urn has been really popular just for the HP lately. Drums is obviously always a decent pickup, and at bottom, yeah, G's gonna come in with him. I'm pretty sure this Vanguard's gonna make zero difference.
We'll see. Doom's now available. He'll throw it out. The Infest Bomb flies through, and Blitz, you are absolutely right, my friend. Zero difference was made. Compliments of the Vanguard.
Yeah, I mean, he died half a second later, I guess. As weird as it sounds, though, I still think it was kind of an okay pickup. Like, if they do get in a fight, there's no way that you're gonna be able to, like, passively kill him. Like, you have to actually divert all your time to doing so.
Yeah. Oh, Primal split down bottom. Wrath of Nature flies through. The boulder will connect with Sedoy. Bane comes in with a lot of damage. There's your Fiend's Grip as he's caught inside of the Sprout. And again, they get a kill on Doom, but as you pointed out, he's the one that's kind of under-farmed, and he's not that high-value target. This is... I mean, killing Doom isn't bad, but it's not the same as shutting down the Storm or the Lifestealer.
There's a really funny pattern going on here. It's that Silent gets solo killed with nobody near him, and then people from VP stay, and the Doom is always the last one out. Like, it's actually happened twice in a row in the exact same fashion. Like, the Doom stays for just too long. The rest of his team's, like, completely gone, and then Empire managed to just take that.
Bane has also been the one to pick up every single kill that Empire's gotten. He's 4-0-0, and I don't know that that's exactly ideal. I mean, Bane getting kills isn't bad, but now he's got some streak gold attached to him, and he's still relatively easy to bring down if VP take a good fight. Also, Rubik did steal the Primal Slit in that last fight, so now I think VP will be a little more eager to take an engagement.
That's like the worst thing that could possibly happen for your team right now. Like, you really... I can't understate that enough. If you're able to steal the split that easily, then taking fights early on is going to be so simple, because now you have to kill the Rubik immediately in the fight, and if you're using any sort of disables on the Rubik, that means that's one less that a Storm or a Lifestealer have to worry about, and it's not like Empire have a ton of disables to begin with.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm starting to get pretty worried, and like you said, putting 4 kills on a Bane isn't really that worth it.
Yeah, Silent will get telekinesed and Fade bolted down bottom. Doom has his ultimate, but they won't go for anything here. Thought they may want to use the Primal Split. Still about half duration on it. While we're looking at that, Venge will get killed in the top lane. BZZ in some trouble as Resolution, Haste Rune on, will go on in the haunt towards the top. Even the Fiend's Grip deployed, and they will find a kill on someone other than the Doom. As Lifestealer bites the bullet. G should be okay here. And Ancient Apparition will actually fall to the Spectre up in the top lane as G will be able to zip away. Resolution will chase him down. No split for another 10 seconds. And that will be the end of it. So Empire, they get a nice exchange there. 2 for 1.
That was that was obviously fantastic. I think VP's playing a little bit too overeager. Like, they dove a tower for a Vengeful Spirit. I guess they thought they could get in and out. But especially with the kind of lineup that Empire has, like, their ability to chase in close distance is amazing. The global presence of the Spectre with the Haunt, the Nature's Prophet being able to TP, and the Blink Dagger on the Panda. Like, if VP is going to commit to one hero like that under a tower, they have to be prepared to fight.
Yeah, but Solo will fall down bottom as they dive the tower. The Primal Split's been used, and VP will have some support coming down. That'll be the end of him. Doom gets credit for the kill. Now they're just going on to Mag. An easy kill for the Storm Spirit. Now there's the actual brew here. Some Panda on Panda action. The Rubik will go back into Rubik form. And the real Panda, where's he going to go? Earth Spirit on the run, and they're just going to chase him down. G will get caught in the tornado. Nicely done. That'll allow Resolution to blink out and secure survival. So some cute survival plays there, but it is a 2-0 going the way of Virtus.PRO, and they may try to reward themselves with this tower. But Empire, they won't let that happen. They're coming down, and they want to contest this, it seems. Bane with an invisibility rune, Fiend's Grip up in 5, but without a Primal Split, this will be a difficult fight to take.
Yeah, and actually, the Rubik no longer has it, but... Oh no, he has it again!
And Primal Split comes out, pardon me, the Bane ultimate, Fiend's Grip comes out, that secures the kill onto the Doom. Bane finally goes down, Storm's the one that ends the streak. That's huge for Virtus.PRO. Now they'll lose their Ancient Apparition, as well as their Lifestealer. Yol on the run, and VP will get cleaned up here as Empire's rotation proves successful. So Rubik loses that second steal, but Storm is the big breadwinner.
That scared me so much. If he almost had Arcane Boots, like, that was actually 2 seconds away, and that, oh man, Resolution would have regretted that so hard. That was a level 2 ult too, I think. Like, I don't think he should be getting it stolen as many times as he is. Like, the fact that he's stolen 2 out of the last 3 is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, Doom has his mech as well as an ultimate available. Goes in for the tower, but G zips forward. There's the ultimate from the Ancient Apparition. Will secure the kill on the Nature's Prophet, and Silent. He's caught by the Doom ulti. G doing as much damage as he can. Yol's there for the follow-up damage. It will cost them their Doom, but now Solo falls. Soneko, he's going to go down as well, I would imagine. Puts the Enfeeble out on G, but will this be enough to ensure his survival? I'm not so sure. Fade Bolt flying through. There's the zip forward. Electric Vortex, and they will be able to click him down. Even Lifestealers inbound at this point. And could have the open wounds. Phase
This is the tankiest man in the world.
There you go. The open wound comes out. Rage, telekinesis, and that'll be the end of the Bane. Yeah, finally he goes down. There you go. Maelstrom's also been picked up on the Lifestealer, so some chain lightning helping him out. What a back and forth exchange, but Virtus.PRO are the ones that come out ahead at the end. And through all that, Storm is the one that's really made out well. He now has a completed Orchid with that recipe coming on the courier.
I feel like every time VP gets an advantage, they decide to throw it away, and every time Empire does as well, they're doing the same. Obviously, Empire thought they could just take the tower and get out, but at the same time, like, they have just as many gap closers with Storm with the ball lightning. So he's always going to go in with the Ancient Apparitional, because as soon as both pop and you don't have Panda Split, VP's always going to take that fight. And they should at this point in the game, because you need to put pressure on the Spectre. And the Spectre's only got 2,600 gold right now, and that's pretty good though, all things considered.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a Vanguard and 2,600 gold despite the fact, well, that he's a Spectre and he got pressured like crazy. He's 1-4 right now, but his team overall is doing okay.
Yeah. No, you're right. There's been most of the fights we've seen have been in the bottom lane where Spectre's been farming pretty much the entire match. So he's found a lot of farming time in between these skirmishes. We'll see a smoke rotation from Empire as they put down a ward. They find Sedoy and, oh, you poor baby. Primal Split used for this. Whoa. That's a little surprising. They had him in the Fiend's Grip. Thought that was going to be a free kill regardless. They'll get a kill on Mag as that's happening behind the tower. See, maybe they can find the Rubik as well. Primal Split still utilized. A lot of damage out on the Yol. He will telekinesis silent. And the ultimate from AA will come through. Won't do a hell of a lot. Sedoy does buy back for this as now G zips forward, grabs the Vengeful Spirit, secures the kill there. Resolution will just TP out as BZZ tries to bring him down. Same with the Bane, and they will just TP to the top tower. That tier 1 tower did go down, by the way, while all this was kind of breaking out. So another one of these odd exchanges that is in sort of a break even. Doom buying back there makes that kind of a wash, I think.
Yeah, he definitely shouldn't have bought back here. Alright, is this going to happen again? Is VP going to stay for this tower and get punished for it? No, they finally decide to get out. This is exactly what they needed to do. Take a fight cleanly, pick off 1 or 2 heroes, and then just take a tower and get out. Like, don't overextend for anything. You don't really need to. Like, there is kind of a clock when you play against Spectre, but you should still be really measured with the way that you fight. Like, it can't just be, we'll run at them and hope for the best. It has to be, like, controlled aggression. It's like, we'll take this fight. If it doesn't go well, it's not that big of a deal. You just can't really panic against Radiance carriers.
Yeah. It's true. And you have to stay aggressive, but feeding away unnecessary deaths is that one-way ticket to getting that Radiance carry one step closer to his scary item. Up top, G will press forward, goes right onto Silent, and won't have enough damage for the kill. Won't even try to commit for it. Doesn't use the Orchid. Just tickling him a little bit and pushing him back. So we'll slow down the Radiance timing that much more. He's about 100 gold away, but now that he's pushed out of the lane, otherwise would have been able just to retreat and grab that Relic. While this is happening in the bottom, BZZ will secure a tier 1 tower kill, and in the mid, Empire move in. The glyph has been used, but they'll probably be able to get a tower kill out of this. VP will come to the defense. Maybe they can hope for a deny. Tower, or heroes will be repelled. Rubik won't get the seal he's looking for, but Doom right onto Resolution. He'll get swapped out, but now gets hit by the Ancient Apparition ulti. Doom has already come out onto him. Venge will go down. Sneeko kind of close to shattering, and Resolution will get chased down towards the top. Doom ulti about to expire. They need to hit him one more time. BZZ will find it. No, he gets the Primal Split off. That'll keep him alive, and now looking for a counter kill perhaps. Throws the boulder out onto Storm. He'll disjoint it with the zip. Nicely done, as Sedoy and BZZ just try to position themselves to secure a kill onto this Brewmaster when he goes back into bear form. Not much time left. The Earth Panda is still nearby. BZZ chasing him down. He'll blink over the tree line. Oh, this elusive bastard. He'll make it out. But Virtus.PRO still take another very convincing team fight.
Yeah, that wasn't even that bad for them. Although they would have liked to kill Resolution, the split was used defensively, and that's okay. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world. He's almost got a BKB, but I don't think he should have been in a position to get Doom there, but at the same time, they don't really have any frontline tanks if the Spectre's not going to be there. So for Empire to take towers, he actually kind of does have to be in the front, whacking away. And he's super tanky. I mean, he got doomed A ulted, I think, and they all went on him, and he still managed to survive.
Yeah, and soon he'll have a BKB. He's about halfway to the recipe. We'll see Venge get caught out once more. And that kind of global presence of the AA mixed with the mobility of the Storm, who also has rune control. I've always noticed that that's one hero that you don't really want to give runes to. And G's had regens after double damages, and His bottle's almost always topped off, and it looks like now he'll just move into a Lincoln's, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, the only Bloodstone change. Up top, Sadoy will get caught. Yol has the surprise inside, but it won't be enough to survive. He will get denied by the neutral. That's nice. But BZZ looking for the kill onto Bane. The defensive nightmare comes out, but BZZ will secure the kill. And a little bit of that chain lightning action. It's a 2-for-1 in the top lane. And now they will just try to make the escape, and Empire will be successful on that front.
Yeah, he's going to decide to go to Lincoln's here because most of the damage that's going to come on him is going to come from single target abilities. Like, you're not really going to fire a dagger at the Storm, and I guess the Sprout can break it, but Mag should die well before then. And so the only things that really worry you as a Storm is the Bane setup and the Orchid from Nature's Prophet. And if he can manage to stop both of those, then that's fantastic for him. Like, the BKB doesn't do anything against Bane, so...
Yeah. Down bottom, Solo will get picked off once more. The Soul Burn should be enough with that one last auto attack. It is. Now G is on a wicked 6 streak, 7-0-6. And this is that kind of snowballing storm that you need to make happen. You're going to have a lot of momentum this game, and he has certainly found it. Number 1 on the net worth, and I don't see that changing really anytime soon. Silent is very close to his Radiance, though. 24 minutes in. Not the best timing, but we'll be able to find it with this creep wave, and maybe this will be the big item that lets Empire start regaining some momentum now as Virtus.PRO move into the Roshan pit.
Yeah, they have incredibly squishy heroes. The Doom isn't actually too tanky. He does have a mech, but he's pretty underfarmed for the time, and he's probably going to go for a Blink Dagger as well, so no defensive items on him. And Spectre actually with the Radiance will hard counter that. And Yol and Jotum are so weak. Like, they've combined between them, they've got like 1500 health. And so the Spectre should be able to rip through them, especially with the level 2 Haunt. So it's now that the Vanguard plus the Radiance are online, as long as he doesn't Haunt incorrectly and get doomed and Storm Orchided and stuff like that, like, he can do absolute work here.
Yeah. Storm is pretty close to his Lincolns, just about 500 gold off the recipe. Rubik will deny that tier 1 tower mid. And the Roche was uncontested, so Aegis of the Immortal ends up in the inventory of the Lifestealer with another 2,100 gold already. Dire Courier, it'll get picked off by Mag as he hops into the base. No cargo, but still a nice little pretty penny there for Team Empire.
Yeah, they pretty much need to take what they can get right now. Getting towers at this point is kind of a tough proposition. If you're going to push mid or bottom, you're going to go for a tier 2, and that tier 1 at top is pretty much full. And there's so many... there's a blink on the Doom soon, I think. Yeah, he's got it right now. The Storm can obviously zip in, so solo trying to go for... Not the player, but if you try to solo go for a tower at this point, anybody on Empire, you're going to get picked off.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've seen Solo get caught actually quite a few times. He's 1-8, and even just his warding efforts have been quite the struggle, as if he gets scouted out, they're eager to jump on him and hit him with an Ice Blast. Brew does have that fresh BKB intact now, 10 seconds of Magic Immunity, ready to rock and roll, and will be well on his way to a Vlad's Offering. But there's that Lincoln's out on Storm, and now he's getting pretty tanky. 1,500 hit points up on him, and we'll see where he wants to go next with an Invisibility Rune in the bottle, still holding true with all that rune control.
Yeah, this late in the game, if you're picking up bounty runes and stuff like that, they're just nice little pick-me-ups. Like, bounty runes here aren't ideal, but if the Storm's able to get a DD or even a regen, it's really easy for him to farm and gank out. Like, a DD on the Storm can pretty much kill anybody on the map.
Yeah, especially with that Orchid.
Anymore. Maybe not this Panda, he's got a BKB now. Like, that Panda's still pretty farmed, all things considered.
Even the tanky Spectre is still, with the double damage rune, I think soloable for the Storm Spirit. If he has enough mana, he will use his Invisibility Rune, and now it's just hunting season. He'll move around the Radiant jungle here. There is no gem out, so he can feel pretty safe. A couple of sentries down that he may walk over, but Empire playing this very cautiously. They'll still stay grouped up, basically as 4, and leave Spectre to solo farm with his Radiance up in the top lane. A lot missing off the map, and they are suspicious, so they make the right call just to stay turtled up and not let anyone get picked off unaware.
Oh, this is the big fight coming up too. The Spectre is kind of baiting out here by himself, but I think they might actually know this, and they might just skip ahead to pick off the rest of the heroes. If Sidori can get the Blink Doom on Resolution...
And he'll find it. The Infest Bomb comes out, and oh no, it's a disaster for Empire. So much damage coming out their way. They'll lose 3 to start up the fight instantly. Yol taking a lot of damage from Silent. Will end up going down, but it will cost him his life. Now Solo isolated in the tree line. Triple kill. Ultra kill for BZZ. A 1 for 5.
That's
Oh,
not what you
Blitz,
wanted.
Empire.
Everything fell
Oh.
apart. That was so smart by
Perfect.
Empire. They knew that the
Yeah.
Spectre was bait, and Empire were like, this is gonna go so well. Because they know this is bait, but they still kind of want to go for the Spectre because they've just committed 5 heroes and an Infest, so nobody's farming. But they placed this ward down here, right here, and they got vision on Resolution and were able to get the jump on him. Oh, that went so well for them. And Empire, I mean, that was like the most obvious bait in the world. They had to know that they were standing right behind them. And VP, that was just fantastic map awareness. Like, that ward just won them that fight and possibly the game.
Yeah, still not out of the clear quite yet. A Radiant Spectre can have some pretty serious recovery capabilities, but yeah, now this Lifestealer and Storm, they're both a good bit ahead of the Spectre. And look at this, Solo knows exactly what's going on with that ward. He'll put down a sentry and they'll be like, oh, that's it. All right, boys, we gotta tighten up here. We can't do that again or this one's gonna be over. Prophet will find himself an ultimate orb, but Sadoy, he'll blink out just as Resolution comes in to initiate.
Oh,
He
but
on
G,
the
I
side
think
of
he's
the
gonna
tree
go on
line.
this.
He's thinking about it.
He's waiting for
Ice
the AA ult
Blast.
first. Oh, it misses
Yes.
everybody somehow. I think this is where if he saw the blink dagger go off. Oh no, he's not gonna approach this at all. I thought he was actually gonna go for the Nature's Prophet, but I assume he thought that Mag had TP'd long ago.
Yeah. Probably so. Noble effort, but they will back out. Lifestealer still has the Aegis of the Immortal in tow, though it is soon to expire, so they won't get any use out of that. But now he's got the Heart of Tarrasque. 2,700 hit points on this Lifestealer. And this is what's scary in comparison to the Spectre, who has 1,300. He's now moved into a Yasha. Not a bad item on the Spectre, but he's just so squishy. BZZ can just go man mode, and there's not really much that the Spectre will be able to do about it.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about when I first saw Empire's lineup. There's a few issues with it. One, they don't have enough lockdown for the Lifestealer, the Storm, and the Doom. Two, the point that I made earlier was that they don't have any burst damage. Like, in a sustained fight with the Brewmaster split, the fact that the NP can TP and buy back, and same with the Spectre, maybe you're okay, but in this early game, when you see the first, like, 2 or 3 items on VP, on their core heroes, it's going to be impossible to take fights just because you can't kill anybody. Like, if G is good with his mana pool, and he doesn't waste the Linken's charge by getting out of position and allowing, like, a Sprout to come on himself to break it, like, he should almost always be alive. And killing the Lifestealer, even before the Heart, was a tough task. And now with the Heart and the Mjolnir, there's almost no reason to go for him. But he does too much damage that you can't ignore him either. But they just don't have the burst damage to be able to take him down.
Yeah, and they'll chunk down this bottom tier 2 tower. Empire won't even use the glyph for it. Up top, this tower taking some damage. It will go down. Dire did opt to glyph it, and it will obviously be refreshed here, as Silent will find the last hit on that tower. So his farm is increasing a little bit, but Virtus.PRO not walking away from that empty-handed. Looks like Doom will be moving into a BKB, and still not much insight into what G will go for next, but he's got 3,100 gold. So he's still a pretty rich Storm Spirit at this stage in the game. Also, a Blink Dagger is now up on the Rubik, and that'll make Yol's life a lot easier in terms of these steals, which he's already been pretty successful with. He's already stolen the Brew Ultimate twice, if not 3 times.
Yeah, I think G will go for a Hex if he's smart, and he'll get a Bloodstone if he wants to look good. Like, that's...
Okay.
That's what's going... If I was in his position right now, that would be going through my mind right now. Like, if you want to, like, tear shit up and just look awesome in 1v5, you get the Bloodstone. But if you want to be safe, you should get the Hex, because the Storm Hex initiation is, like, one of the fastest in the game, and it's so good, especially against the Brewmaster and the Spectre. But I can't fault him if he decides to go the other way and goes for the solo, I'm going to win item and get a Bloodstone.
Alright, we'll see here. 3,800 gold. This should be pretty telling, whatever he picks up. Will it be a Soul Ring? And okay, it's a BKB.
Oh, that's
wrong
like
on
the
both
most...
accounts.
Yeah, that's super defensive. Like, he's got a Linken's and a BKB. He can't die now. Like, he actually can't die. During the time the BKB is up, because the only thing that's going to go through it is the, I guess the swap can, but I don't know if it's worth it to use it just to break a Linken's like that.
Probably not. The Fiend's Grip is the big one, but Alright, things still looking pretty good for Virtus.PRO. Glancing at the graph, holding steady at about 10,000 gold, 15,000 experience, though we certainly can't forget about that rubber band effect. If Empire take a good team fight, sort of the opposite of what we saw in that bottom lane moments prior, then, well, perhaps they could find some recovery. But Virtus.PRO playing pretty tight for now. The BKB's up on Doom, and they'll just start moving around down towards the bottom section of the map. BZZ farming in a pretty forward spot. Already has another 3,500 gold up. There's just nothing slowing down this guy's farm. 18,000 net worth at 33 minutes is pretty impressive.
Yeah, and it's just because he's so safe. Like, it's gonna take pretty much everyone from Empire doing everything they possibly can to take him down. Like, this is the raid boss, this is like the final boss in Dragon Ball Z, takes like 45 minutes and the power of friendship to knock him down. And I don't even know if that'll do it for Empire right now.
Yeah, now the Manta's out on Spectre, so he hasn't really been the Orchid target all that much, but we'll dispel that, so that's nice. Helping him tank up a little bit too, now up to 1,700 hit points, so he's getting there slowly but surely.
It's just a good item in general too. It makes the fights really hectic. Like if you have like 8 Spectres in there, with the Haunt plus your Manta plus yourself, it makes it impossible to tell which one the real one is, and you're not going to expend any effort trying to find out which one it is. So Silent just has like 4 or 5 seconds of free time just hitting people.
Yeah. For sure. So, things slowing down quite a bit. Empire will now smoke up. Nature's Prophet very close to his Scythe of Ice. Just a Void Stone away and 500 gold towards it. As it's a 4-hero smoke. Silent's the only one not with him, but of course he'll be able to haunt forward. And who are they going to find here? They'll move into the jungle, and it is BZZ that's farming away. He gets pinged out. Fiend Script to start things off, but no, manages to get off the rage. Meow in the air will hop inside of the creep, and that opens up some space for G. Bane will go down first. And it'll be a godlike streak for G as the Primal Split comes out, going on to BZZ, but he's just too damn tanky. They'll lose their Vengeful Spirit and trade for the Ancient Apparition. BZZ still alive, double kill for Silent, and they finally take down the Lifestealer. The power of the Panda just a bit too much. It's a 2 for 3, and Empire do take the advantage. No buybacks used, but can Resolution actually make it out? Sadoy won't be able to scout him, and the zip forward just a little bit too late. So Empire do get a decent trade there and finally bring down that tanky Lifestealer.
Yeah, I think this is just a product of everybody on VP building a little bit too defensively. Like, the hard on Lifestealer is good and all, but he doesn't do enough damage to really warrant like a threat. And the Storm picking up the BKB on top of the Lincolns, like, he doesn't really do too much damage on his own either, and so it's difficult for them to fight. And they don't really have a good way to clear the illusions on the Spectre either. So it's not like they're taking these fights dominantly anymore.
Yeah, I guess the Chain Lightning procs from the Mjolnir is helpful in dealing with the illusions, but not your end-all be-all by any means. So Storm with 2,400 gold. He can probably farm up a Scythe before too long here. There's still a lot of room to farm, and they still have a pretty decent lead. It wasn't that detrimental of a team fight. A 2 for 3, not ideal, obviously, but I think they still have a pretty solid chance. Next Roche is also up, which is something that VP may want to consider.
Yeah, it's really gonna come down to like G's item choices and BZZ's. Like, you don't go defensive items anymore. Like, you have to build aggressively at this point. Like AC for the Lifestealer, a Hex for the Storm. You need something along those lines.
Yeah, they'll find a kill on the Bane. Soul Burn enough to bring him down. As Storm zips forward once more, they'll find Solo, but Storm now out of mana, has nothing in the bottle. Primal Split flies through. It'll be forced to use his BKB. Haunt from the Spectre, locks Sadoy in place. It'll be the end of the Doom. Now Yol on the back foot. Jottam taking a Wrath of Nature, bringing him low. The 2 supports soon to go down. Rubik will fall. BZZ now joining the party, trying to man up onto Silent, but the Panda's doing a lot of return damage. He will just rage and try to walk away. Doom does buy back to get into the fray, and will secure a safety vehicle here for the Lifestealer as he does infest and make it out. So another one of these fights that doesn't really go that well for Virtus.PRO, and the buyback from Doom really hurting the net worth, and all of a sudden Empire regaining a lot of lost footing.
Yeah, and at bottom they're gonna go for solo here, but it's definitely not worth it. The buyback plus the like almost a minute of the Lifestealer's time just to kill the Vengeful Spirit. Obviously it's a kill, but it's not really going to accomplish too much. And the dangerous thing right now for VP is that Silent just continues to get more and more tanky. Like, they can't take him down as is right now, and it's going to get even more difficult because I mean the Nature's Prophet has a Hex as well, so it's not like you can ignore his efforts anymore. I think this is a Spectre that's going to get a heart. I think that would be the good pickup here. Yeah, he just went and picked up his Reaver right now. And once he has that, I don't know what VP is going to do because they're not really farming too much, and it's not like another major item is going to come out that'll change too much for them. Like, I think it's AC time or something along those lines, like a data list. Like, they need something heavy hitting to be able to take out that Spectre. And G needs to pick up a DPS item as well soon.
Yeah, 3,600 gold on him. Lifestealer has a fair bit sitting in the bank at 4,500, so they will be able to grab 2 aggressive items. I think they may rather have the AC on the Doom, but that doesn't seem like a very likely scenario. G will use his BKB for this. They get a pick off onto the Bane, which, again, sort of like that Venge kill moments prior. Not bad, but in exchange for another BKB charge, not the most game-changing of pickoffs.
Yeah, they're only picking off supports right now, and the Bane and the Venge don't really add too much. It's the Spectre and the Panda that you want to kill, and even the Brewmaster isn't that big of a pickup. Like, he's got buyback, the Nature's Prophet might be pretty good at this point, or the Spectre. Like, anything less is not worth it.
Spectre does get hit by the Ice Blast. BZZ coming in, he'll try to TP home. Can anyone get here to interrupt it? No, he'll make it out. And now Empire, they are grouped up about the Dire jungle, and they'll get initiated on. Solo is the target of choice. Resolution gets doomed up before he can primal split, and now Virtus.PRO might be able to take the fight they're looking for. Resolution will definitely go down. Silent, however, finds a kill onto the Rubik. He's reinitiated with the Haunt, and he is looking for blood. G in some trouble, will get swapped back. There's a huge streak here. Silent will get it. 900 gold. Oh no, this is starting to look disastrous for Virtus.PRO. And now Mag, will he be able to make it out? Yep, he'll be able to blink over the Sprout. Silent is still here. BZZ and Sedoy still looking for some return kills. The Satyr helping him out a little bit with the Shockwave as Mag gets open wounded and nowhere for him to go. He throws out the Hex, but now Doom will secure the kill. And Virtus.PRO get a little bit of a cleanup. But Spectre just got so much out of that, and he essentially has his heart now.
Oh, yeah, he's got it. And he's got 1,000 gold on top of that as well. It's been impossible to kill him, and just from the Desolate plus the Dispersion and the Radiance, he's already doing way too much damage in these fights. I feel so bad for VP because I don't think the BKB on the Storm was the pickup there, because he's not really having any sort of trouble surviving. Like, that was his first death in the game, and the only reason he died was because he ran out of mana, right? But like, if he actually had DPS items, he could go and kill the Storm or even Resolution by himself, but he's struggling so hard right now. And he's had a buyback as well too, so whatever item he was going for, it's not going to come for quite some time. Like, at one point he had 4,000 gold, and now he's at 2,100. So if he was going to go for a major item, it's going to get delayed by way too much now. And BZZ's got, he's actually picked up a Basher. And it looks like it is going to be the Abyssal Blade. So this is the damage item that he needs. Because right now, he's hitting like kittens. He doesn't do enough. The mischance from the Brewmaster, plus the Vengeful Spirit's defensive swaps, and the fact that you're doing 0 damage to Silent just makes him kind of useless until he gets the Abyssal.
Yeah. He should have it very soon here. Just a little bit of gold away. May want to pool for buyback before he ends up investing in the big item. And with the Mjolnir attack speed, that helps him out DPS-wise, but we'll see if this is enough. This Spectre is now 3,100 hit points stronger, another 2,000 gold towards his next item. And on that note, what does the Spectre look towards as his next piece of progression?
A Butterfly, probably.
Okay.
Diffusal is usually a pretty common choice too, but I don't think it adds as much as a Butterfly might. Any sort of DPS item at this point, because you want... you're tanky enough at this point that you want for people to go on you. Like, you want to have, you want to be able to do so much damage that people can't ignore you. But at the same time, you've got a Vanguard, a Manta Style, and a Heart with Dispersion. Like, it's gonna take forever to take him down. Oh, and on top of the fact that your Panda's like, instead of going for the traditional Aghanims route, he's built entirely defensively to help his Spectre out. Like, he's got an AC and a Vlad's, so that's just multiple levels of armor on top of that. It's going to be so difficult to kill the Spectre.
Yep, absolutely. All that armor will make a big difference, and especially given that VP has no AC of their own. And I also like the Butterfly route here because they don't really have a great MKB carrier. Lifestealer is your best bet, but now that he's invested towards the Abyssal, it's going to be a long while before he has an MKB, and Storm probably won't pick one up, nor will the Doom. So that will give this Spectre just a lot of effective HP. He's still pretty far away, 2,800 gold, but Silent is closing the gap. He's almost #1 on net worth now, just barely behind that of the Lifestealer, who has gone ahead and grabbed the big Abyssal.
Yeah, and this is the timing for them now. The Storm is going to be able to pick up one more item, and then they have to fight. And the Spectre, I think, is almost too big at this point to engage if you're not going to... Like, you don't want to waste a Doom on a Spectre, really. It's not going to do too much. Mag, or even Mag, is a better target, I think, at this point in the game. But
yeah.
I don't really see how they're going to take him down if Empire is able to fight. Like, if they can get the Brewmaster split off, my lord.
Yeah, this is that
so
stage in the game where you'd really like this Doom to have more farm and have like an Aghanim's Refresher right around the corner. Or something like that, so you can have the double Doom, maybe use one on the Spectre, have one still for the Brew, or what have you. And instead, sure, the mech is nice, but at this stage in the game, not doing a hell of a lot. Same with the BKB, it helps him survive, but doesn't really help out the team all that much. Probably a Shiva's coming out next on the plate mails. Actually, that's what's on the courier. Yep, there you go. So it's completed now. Not a bad item, but not quite the same as a Refresher with a double Doom.
Yeah, they've actually got a gem on this Storm, which is a really big pickup, especially since they don't have any smokes. Like, if you don't have smokes at this phase in the game, you have to pick up the gem if you're going to be able to get any sort of ganks at all, just to deward as aggressively as possible. But Empire have a smoke up right now. I think they might want to just smoke up his 3 with the Panda, or I mean the Brewmaster, and try to get like any sort of initiation off at this point is okay for you. As long as your Brewmaster is the first one in and he can clap and ult. Because Mag can just TP in, blink hex anybody, and then on top of that your Spectre can haunt in. So I think this is the smoke timing for them.
Right. Well, Sadoy almost gets initiated on. You can see Mag pulling out his calculator there and thinking about it. It does let him walk away. Top tier 2 tower does fall. Spectre doing a good job using his Manta and using that Radiance Burn, and almost got the tower kill. It was denied by the Storm. And oh, speaking of Storm, he's got the surprise inside and find Mag, but he'll blink to safety, zip over the tree line. Now they'll go in right onto the Nature's Prophet. They'll bring him down. BKB's been used, and now G wants to go in onto solo. Will zip forward once more. The pudding pop's coming out. Will he commit for this, though? The Ice Blast will be off the mark. Doom blinks over the tree line. Will use the Shivas, and Silent will be the swap target to keep him alive. Even a Nightmare coming out. And after all that, Virtus.PRO will only find 1 kill on the Empire Nature's Prophet. They will also get the tower out of it, so... Or no, pardon me, that tower's been dead for a while. So, alright, not a bad little exchange, but that is a 5-hero rotation.
Yeah, and it was just on the back of the fact that they have a gem. There's no ward vision on the map right now for Empire, aside from the one in their jungle over here, but that doesn't really see too much at this point. Like, the Storm initiates from such a long distance that it's not going to change too much. And the Storm's picked up 5,600 gold now, so he's got 1 major item coming up. I'm assuming he's going to save for the buyback, just in case things go down. And Sadoy actually has a Shivas now as well. I'm actually kind of curious to see what the next item is for the Lifestealer. I think he might want to go for the AC, but I'm not too sure. And Diffusal is actually the pickup choice for the Spectre.
Okay. So a little bit of utility there. Obviously the mana burn. It does up his damage output and gives him a nice bit of agility. So he's starting to hit decently hard with those auto attacks, and now there is definitely no running away from Spectre when he decides to purge you.
Yeah, and the Spectre's pretty much 6-slotted. I guess he could sell the Vanguard for an eventual Butterfly or a Daedalus even. I mean, it doesn't really matter what he goes. I don't think he needs to get more defensive than this. But I think a Butterfly might be the pickup choice here, because it would force at least 1 MKB on VP.
Yeah, and it's kind of the best of both worlds as well. It gives you a lot of damage and also helps your survivability, and as you mentioned, forces their hand in terms of item progression. Lifestealer does have 2,900 gold, so he could have an MKB on the horizon, could certainly sell the drums and be reasonably close. So I guess that is certainly in the realm of reason there. And now the BOTs come out for Storm, who also picks up another ultimate orb. This one will probably be the Scythe of Ice.
Yeah, I'd be incredibly surprised if he gets a Scotty or something like that. Like, that would just blow my mind. I think the Boots of Travel was the necessary pickup, because you don't want to give up the gem just yet. Like, Storm is the natural gem carrier, just because the Radiance gives you flying vision. And so you want him to hold on to it as long as you can. so picking or having TP scrolls at this point isn't too helpful. And also what the Storm does is he allows the mobility of being able to gank in the lane with the lifestealer. Just being able, as long as he's near the lifestealer hops in and then he TPs to a creep and then they can roll in and take a fight.
Yep. Well, smoke rotation from Empire. They'll press into the jungle. They get a ward down on the high ground, looking for a potential pickoff, but BP are nowhere to be found. They're kind of turtled up in the trees and have one down at the bottom, and whoa, Rubik playing with fire there. We'll steal the Spectral Dagger, but okay, he'll be able to make it out. That was pretty risky.
Yeah, they wait, but at the same time, even if the Rubik dies there, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, because you had 4 heroes commit to a smoke gank. And I think that's their last smoke for, another 8 minutes. And they wanted to be able to start some sort of fight with that. And so for the fact that the Rubik was able to survive there is huge.
Yeah. Now the momentum of this game really slowing down, but just looking at the graphs, it's Virtus.PRO with a small lead still. The momentum is just not in their favor. Silent will finish off the tier 2 tower in the mid. That's only one outer tower remaining for the Dire, and soon to be only one outer tower remaining for the Radiant as well, as they commit to the tier 2 in the top lane. The Glyph will buy them some time. Silent getting into the base pretty deep here, and we'll be able to make it back without getting his feet caught in the cold weather. Take a few tower shots, but he'll be okay. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Sadoy is still pushing, does have a couple of TP scrolls, so he'll be okay. Blinks into the tree line, and yeah, there you go. He'll make the retreat. So an even trade. Both teams just get a tier 2 tower out of it, and go back to farming.
Yeah, this game is kind of passived out because VP knows that they have one potential bad fight in them. Like if they were to get team wiped at this point against the Spectre, I think that would be the game. And on the same side, if Silent were to die and was forced to use his buyback kind of inefficiently, the game could go badly for them as well. So yeah. I think VP's best bet right now is to look for the pickoffs with the Storm and the Lifestealer, and just hope that some sort of pickoff materializes on the map. Like they were able to get Mag right now, and that was absolutely huge. I don't think he has buyback ready either.
He does actually.
Oh, he
just
does.
Barely.
Oh wow.
Yep.
I clicked his gold, but I guess that he's got enough reliable gold for that.
Yeah, he's got just about 100 gold extra, so a close call for sure. But showing how squishy that Nature's Prophet is, he's gone pretty much glass cannon here. And if he gets the initiation, it's great news, but if they jump on him from long range, really not a hell of a lot that he can do. Roche will be respawning here in just a couple of seconds. Yol will walk in and scout it out, and he'll hang around just long enough to see Roche appear before his eyes. He's an Aegis this time around, and Virtus.PRO will go in for Roche. They've gotten the last 2 Aegises and haven't really been able to do much with it. Both of them have expired, I believe, in the inventory of the Lifestealer. So we'll see this time around if they can make something happen with the Aegis and with the cheese. I think this is the big window for Virtus.PRO. If they can't make it happen with these 2 items, I'm skeptical they'll be able to do it at all.
Yeah, cheese on Storm plus an Aegis on the Lifestealer. I think this is the timing that they're looking for here. And the Nature's Prophet doesn't have so much gold that he can buy another item for quite some time. Like, he's got the Demon Edge, but he's never going to finish anything until he's got enough for whatever he's going for, the Data List or the MKB, plus the buyback.
He picks up a Hyperstone. I think he's going AC. Yeah, he's got a full AC.
Yep, and he's got 1,300 gold on top of that, so in the next few minutes he should have buyback as well if he wants it.
Yeah. Alright. Well, a lot of attack speed on this Lifestealer, that's for damn sure. BOT's now up on the Doom. He's actually the one carrying the cheese right now, not the Storm.
And I think it's just because they want to keep the gem on him at the top.
Oh no, Hex out onto G, the Primal Split is there, Solo with the swap, BZZ stuck inside of the Fiend Script. G will survive the initial onslaught, but BZZ may not be so lucky. The Rubik falls off to the side, they still lose their Nature's Prophet. BZZ doing a lot of damage, will take down the Bane now, but that'll be the end of the Aegis. Solo doing as much damage to G as he can, will repel him for now. Resolution coming in, misses the clap, and if 2 fights breaking out now is Silent around the backside. He gets doomed and isolated. This will be the end of the Spectre's life, and Storm will be able to survive. So at the end of all that, there was a buyback used on the Rubik, but it's Virtus.PRO that come out way ahead, and Spectre does not have a buyback here. He's in the grave for a minute and a half.
There's no way they should have initiated like that, especially against the Aegis carrier. Like, the best case scenario for them is they pop the Storm quickly. I guess that's what they wanted, and then they kite the Lifestealer around, but still, he's got an Abyssal Blade, and he was able to 1-on-4 and just rip through them. And the Storm's able to survive as well. Like, they just didn't have enough DPS on lockdown to kill him. I think Spectre actually needed to haunt if they were going to go that hard for the Storm. But I'm pretty sure that guy has buyback as well. And he fully completes his Hex now that he knows that the Spectre is dead. And I think this is going to mean tier 2 and possibly a tier 3 as well.
Yeah, there's no glyph for another 55 seconds, so if they just go hard on the structures, they can bring them down pretty quick and certainly get the tier 3 tower. And depending on their initiation, maybe Barracks Solo will get jumped on. Down he goes. That's a Gem of True Sight hitting the deck. And now they'll have 2 in the grave for at least another 35 seconds, and without a glyph, Virtus.PRO may have actually done it here, Blitz. Mid lane of Rax will certainly go down, and with 30 seconds left, maybe they can go to another lane.
Oh god, this game is scaring me. Like, as long as VP don't throw this and get over eager, like you take one more set of Rex here and then you get out. Like, there's no need to overextend and potentially throw the game out. Like, the Panda still has a ton of farm. The Spectre is still slick slotted. Like, and he's got a butterfly. This game can still go poorly for you. So they have to be careful. Resolution's actually doing the correct thing here. He's gonna initiate right when the Spectre comes up.
Yep. Fiend Script comes out onto the Life Stealer. The Haunt flies through. Silent will go up the side, chases down Jotum. Meanwhile, in the middle of the fight, Bane will go down. His Storm Spirit doing a lot of damage. The supports of the Dire have both fallen. Split's been used. Sadoy taking some damage, but now Silent, he'll get hexed up. G doing as much damage as he can, but this Butterfly going to do a lot of work. BZZ still alive, ready to commence the right clicks with a cheese in the inventory. Will go hard onto Silent. G taking a lot of damage. Now it's Sadoy. Sadoy will be the next to go down. BZZ winning the man fight right now. But Empire starting to come back up. Blah, 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 says the Brewmaster as BZZ eats the cheese. Silent takes the Doom. Sadoy, he's fought back. He's BOT'd in. And now this will be the turn. Spectre's dead. He'll have the gold to buy back. He'll get right back into this game. G is hexed off to the side. Will just barely be able to zip away. Mag takes a level death to the face. That'll be the end of him. And it is Virtus.PRO that walk away from this fight with more heroes still standing. Silent with the buyback. Won't be able to do much with it. Maybe finds a return kill onto Sadoy, but end of the day, they've already minimized their losses, but sharing is caring. Jotum's there with the Force Staff. Doom survives, and the bottom barracks, well, they lose the ranged. Melee still standing. Virtus.PRO, they come out way ahead there.
Yeah, that actually initially looked really, really good for Empire, but at this point in the game, the Panda's been pretty much phased out. The Nature's Prophet is just weak. Like, he just doesn't do enough damage to deter anybody from going on him, and he gets eaten alive by that Life Stealer. Like, once that Storm decides that he wants him dead, he's gonna die. Like, he pops the BKB, rolls in on the Nature's Prophet every single time, and there's absolutely nothing Matt can do until he picks up a BKB of his own, and that Spectre just gets kited around. Like, there's not enough farm on Empire to warrant anybody else getting doomed at this point. Like, it's not even worth it to doom Resolution, because once his old form isn't actually too strong without the Aghanims, and it's 60 minutes in a game almost. Like, the Doom doesn't have to worry about him so much, whereas almost everything's on this Spectre. And I think Silent too, he just uses buyback. He won't have it for the next fight, and so that's the strength of the Spectre, right? You can take a fight with your team, then buyback haunt in, but he's not going to be able to do that at this phase of the game. Like, that buyback didn't accomplish too much. I guess he could have maybe got the Doom, but even then, the Ancient Apparition was there to save him as well. So just a completely wasted effort. That's like 1,600 gold plus your buyback down the drain.
Yeah, and that's the big problem. He bought back just a little bit too late, and I don't know that he could have done it any earlier. It's just more his team was already dead, and I guess his presence did repel them so that they didn't stick around for Megas if he had been stuck in the grave. But now the MKB is out for Life Stealer, and he is effectively 6-slotted at this point. He is hitting damn hard, especially with that pack leader's aura on the Doom, and now cutting through that BKB evasion. Or pardon me, that butterfly evasion. Ooh, God, this Spectre, I worry for Silent in this next team fight quite a bit.
I mean, he's only doing 400 damage a hit with Mjolnir charges. It's not that bad. You can walk that off.
Know, it's not that bad. Those kittens got upgraded into rabid cats.
Dude, the cats aren't very scary. Maybe the ones you guys have, but...
Rabid hyenas. Yeah, our cats are pretty scary, man.
Are they?
They're feisty. Every day I wake up and there isn't food in the bowl, they swarm you, man. They go crazy.
Is it Sophie? Sophie bit my toe, on a side note.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she's bit a lot of people. That's including me.
So maybe that was the right analogy there. But
yeah.
Storm's gonna TP into the top lane, try to look for somebody. This is exactly what I meant. Like, this is how VP is able to get back in the game. Well, they're winning the game right now, but this is like, if things were going bad, this would have been their easy comeback mechanic. Just bait out the Storm, use the Hex on him, Then the Lifestealer pops out and two-shots everybody.
Yeah. Good strategy, and they may be able to execute it here. As Empire, they're all grouped up in their base. They just want to defend these barracks. This time they will have a glyph. That was part of the big problem last time. So they moved into the base and the Spectre was dead. There was no glyph to buy them any kind of time, give them any reset tool. Doom will now have an Oblivion staff, so that's good news. Working towards the refresher, goes in onto Silent. The Ice Blast will be off the mark, but Shivas will be popped. Silent takes a lot of damage, will make it back to safety. It looks like Fiend's Grip on the BZZ, but there's just no follow-up damage. G will get hexed and be forced to zip back. BZZ now taking a fair bit, but Spectre is dead. Doom will finish him off on the side, and now Virtus.PRO can just kind of back up. There's no need to force the issue. Let the Storms or the Brew's ultimate expire and kind of slow roll this, knowing that the Spectre doesn't have a buyback.
Yeah, and you just saw what happened there. They just didn't have enough damage to take down anybody else. Like, the Lifestealer was Fiend's Grip for almost the full duration, and they just completely ignored the Bane because it didn't matter. Like, nobody else on Empire puts out any damage at this point. The Brewmaster does okay, but most of his damage, or most of his items are pretty, what's the word called? It's like, it's meant to help the Spectre out.
Supportive.
Yeah.
Utility.
That's the word I was looking for, utility. Like, he doesn't have an Aghanims, he doesn't really have too much right-click damage for the crit to mean anything at this point. And that doesn't even take into account that you still have to kill the Storm and the Doom as well.
Yeah, so there it is. GG, well played. Empire officially eliminated from the top 4 of StarLadder Season 10. There's no way they can make it to the Kiev Land Finals. And Virtus.PRO, kind of the dark horse that's still remaining. They have a chance, and they're now one step closer. So we'll have a break here, guys. 4 more matches of Dota 2 coming up for today's StarLadder EU coverage. Thanks so much for joining us here, and we'll be back after this short break.